Hey there, crypto traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Thursday, September 19th. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Ripple and XRP. We're going to be discussing Ripple being, the official crypto plumber of the industry and essentially the Amazon of the entire universe and ecosystem. And we're going to be also discussing XRP versus the RLUSD stablecoin, which is set to launch really any week now by Ripple. And a lot of people are saying that, what's the value proposition of RLUSD? Is it going to kill XRP and the use case of XRP? And I don't think it will. I'm going to go over all of this and more. I'll give my thoughts and opinions. We had a great conversation in the Pow Group private community about this today, and we had some questions. Some of the members were curious to, if I invest in Ripple, am I invested in XRP? If I invest in XRP, am I investing in the XRP Ledger? There was a lot of great questions. I'm going to take this video. I'll try to be as quick as possible, and we'll go through all of the intricacies of this and more. So XRP itself was created before Ripple, the company. So XRP is a decentralized virtual currency, and there's also the XRP Ledger, which is the blockchain that underpins the XRP token, and that's the native token. So initially, XRP was created before Ripple, and you can see the timeline here, right? XRP Ledger development in 2011, 2012, XRPL launches its native currency, XRP, and then OpenCoin rebranded to Ripple Labs in 2013. So XRP actually came before Ripple, and Ripple operates with 900 plus employees, 15 offices in key technology and financial centers around the world in 80 plus countries. And they have a ton of partnerships as well. XRP was created by original Bitcoin developers who wanted to make a better Bitcoin. It was more scalable. They wanted to make it more scalable. They didn't want to use as much energy, so they created a different consensus mechanism. And Ripple, the company, has a board of directors. They have private equity. So private shares of Ripple, the company, are at around $40 a share right now, and they could soon IPO in 2025 after the case with the SEC ends. The SEC has until October 7th to appeal, so the more time goes by, it's looking more and more like that won't be the case. They probably will not appeal, and we could even see a settlement at some point soon. So the fact that, those catalysts alone are still in the horizon, there's so much potential here. And XRP, the digital asset, is trading around 59 cents USD at the moment, right? So they're two very different things. People kind of conflate the two a lot, but it's just because of, I think, the mainstream media and the way that the bashers and the haters, it's the banker's coin, blah, blah, blah. But then, BlackRock and all these ETFs are created around TradFi, traditional finance. They get into it and they invest in Bitcoin and everybody loves it, right? But think of XRP as the Exxon Mobil, right? Ripple can be viewed as the giant infrastructure player in the industry. Some even call it the plumber, the new plumbing of the new financial system, which we're going to, and the internet of money versus the internet of information, right? It's just that next layer built on top of the internet. It's programmable money, right? XRP is the native asset of the XRP Ledger, and the XRP Ledger was the first blockchain to feature a built-in decentralized exchange, so a DEX. You can make offers to trade any type of token without a middleman. This means you can tokenize anything on the XRP Ledger, and there's even gold. Ripple announces tokenized gold coming to the XRP Ledger in 2024. So what do we know about gold? It's very heavy and clunky and hard, the transportability factor. So if you can put a digital representation on a ledger such as the XRP Ledger, then it solves that problem, right? And you can tokenize anything. You can deed to a house, you can tokenize, real estate property, you can do anything. The XRP token and the XRP Ledger are related, but there's some components within the ecosystem that are different, right? XRP is the native cryptocurrency of the XRP Ledger. It's designed for fast, cost-effective transactions. Each transaction typically settles in 3 to 5 seconds. So if you're wondering about volatility, right, just look at the XRP chart and count 3 to 5 seconds and see how much the price moves. It's basically nothing, right? So when you're settling a transaction in 3 to 5 seconds, sometimes it can take 3 to 5 days with the SWIFT network, right? And the SWIFT network, there's been a lot of comparisons to this with Ripple, and they were even talking about how SWIFT and Ripple could potentially work together someday, which I think is very possible. But XRP's primary function within the ledger is to act as a bridge currency for facilitating cross-border payments, reducing the need for pre-funding in various currencies. So if you're a bank and you're sending to another bank, it's called nostro vostro, you have to have those funds in reserve. So it's just dormant capital that's just sitting there, right? But beyond transactions, XRP is used to pay transaction fees on the XRP Ledger, which helps prevent spam by requiring a small of XRP to be destroyed with each transaction, making the system deflationary over time. So there's a reserve. Right now it's 10 XRP, and what happens is it drops as the network grows. It used to be higher than that, and then it drops as the network gets bigger. and Metcalfe's law, right? This means that it costs about 10 XRP to open an XRP account, and this prevents different types of attacks like DDoS and spamming of the network, right? The 10 XRP that is locked in reserve is locked until the reserve is lowered, and then it can eventually be reclaimed. But the XRP Ledger is an open source, decentralized blockchain technology that supports not just XRP, but the creation and transfer of anything, really, any digital assets or tokens. These tokens can represent various assets, so they're not limited to cryptocurrencies. They could be stable coins, they could even be RWAs, so real world assets like commodities and securities, which I just mentioned. They're looking to tokenize gold as well, right? So there's so many different use cases for it. XRP Ledger uses a unique consensus protocol called the Ripple Protocol Consensus Algorithm, or RPCA for short, which doesn't rely on mining like Bitcoin, making it energy efficient and capable of handling high volume throughput and volume of transactions, right? And as the XRP Ledger gets bigger, it gets even cheaper and can facilitate more transactions. On the XRPL, anyone can issue tokens, which are fundamentally different than XRP. These tokens operate on trust lines where the issuer and holder agree on limits, and transaction involving these tokens require both parties to have established trust lines. And something to consider there would be, when you set up your trust line for the Flare token, right, on the XRP Ledger, and you were able to get Flare tokens just from holding XRP. That was done through trust lines. XRP is a cryptocurrency, while XRPL is a blockchain network where XRP operates alongside other tokenized assets, which, RLUSD, the stablecoin, is an example of that. But XRP was created with a fixed supply, whereas tokens on XRPL can be issued by anyone, subject to the rules of the ledger, and can represent various assets or utilities. XRP transactions, typically, XRP is for the fees, which are destroyed, whereas token transactions on XRPL may involve different mechanisms, including trust lines, like I mentioned, and potentially different fee structures or no fees if not involving XRP directly. XRP focuses on liquidity and cross-border payments, and again, this is sort of how Swift is very clunky. You can go here and you can see that basically how do they differ. So this was created in 1977. It's old, antiquated technology, right? It's basically dinosaur technology, and it's looking to improve on that, right? If you look at some of the uses of crypto and some of the traditional finance system, like it's hard to imagine in the 21st century in 2024 that we're still operating where you have to, it's the quickest way is to get on a plane and fly money from here to, say, from Canada to Europe. The quickest way to take money is to just fly it on a plane, right? So this is the internet of money, essentially, and we can send money at the same pace and the same speed as the internet and information, right? So XRP focuses on liquidity and cross-border payments. XRPL's broader functionality supports a wide range of applications from traditional finance to decentralized finance, so DeFi. There's also NFTs, so non-fungible tokens, and even more. And this is due to the tokenization capabilities. And Larry Fink actually said that he bets tokenization will be 100x bigger than Bitcoin, and that's the CEO of BlackRock. So when he says something like that, you need to listen. RLUSD, the stablecoin, will be issued on the XRP Ledger as listed through the DEX, right? As I mentioned, the decentralized exchange. This will be mainly for institutions, and I believe retail will probably be excluded from this, but it'll be similar to like a USDC or PayPal's stablecoin. And if we bring up the list of stablecoins, you can see here Tether, USDC, you've got USDD, you got PayPal USD. So there's tons of stablecoins right now. And if we take a look at the stablecoin market, the stablecoin market is set to soar to almost $3 trillion in the next 5 years, and it's currently only sitting at just north of $100 billion. So it's about $125 billion at the time of this article. This was August 9th, 2023. So I think it's somewhere around $150 billion, and it's set to grow to $3 trillion. So if there's all these stablecoins, why would Ripple want Circle and Tether and PayPal to get all of these inflows in this use case, right? So it's just a way to be in, basically the plumber and the one-stop shop, right? They offer custody and all these different types of functionalities, right? So the RLUSD will seek to provide stability by pegging its value to the US dollar, and that's part of Ripple's larger vision to facilitate more efficient cross-border payments. So RLUSD should be released, like I said, any week now. And XRP is not a stock, it's a digital asset commodity similar to owning Bitcoin or oil. And as the SEC case unfolded, the judge said that in and of itself, XRP is not a security, right? It's a public good. So RLUSD is meant to be pegged to the US dollar. It's centralized. It's the trust that most are after, right? You don't have to trust an asset like XRP. And you can see here in the BRICS pay, right? Brazil, you got all these different South Africa, right? You got China, you got Brazil, India, Russia. So you get all of these, and there's more and more countries looking to join BRICS each and every day. And what they're trying to do is circumvent the US dollar, right? It's de-dollarization. And you can see here, Ripple and XRP will be in the middle of it all, right? And the best thing about this is it's trustless. You don't have to trust the XRP ledger. It's open sourced, right? You can see all of the transactions, but this isn't necessarily going to be good for, for governments around the world, right? They don't want, like, a certain government doesn't want all of their inner workings to be exposed to the internet. So this is just going to be when you're dealing with cross-border payments, when you're dealing with other countries. But, there's going to be a private ledger and things like that, which Ripple's focusing on as well. So as I said, the RLUSD will be centralized, and some of the companies that are looking to partner with Ripple and use, the XRP Ledger and on-demand liquidity is Bank of America. They're just foaming at the mouth, waiting for Congress to pass legislation, which could happen before the end of the year here, and the the Ripple and SEC case to come to an end. Also, Japan's SBI Holdings said that all Japanese banks will be using. So this is the article here. Banks in Japan to adopt XRP by 2025, SBI Holdings CEO says, right? This is huge. And Ripple's also partnered with, it's rumored to be thousands of different partnerships across the globe, including, the BIS, the IMF, pretty much all of the, the high-level meetings that are going on by all these, world leaders. Ripple is usually at the front and center. There will be a third party that audits the reserves of RLUSD to avoid counterparty risk, but at the end of the day, it's centralized and it's backed by certain reserves like cash reserves, right? Like T-bills, etc. And also developers can't build on RLUSD like they can on the XRP Ledger. And for example, Russia isn't going to want to use the RLUSD that's centralized for payments, or even China or any of these countries, right? They would rather use an open ledger that's decentralized, that no one controls and anyone can be a validator and run a node, right? So like XRP. Eventually, the price of XRP will go up based on demand. And we have to remember that people short XRP just like a stock. It's being held back. So the supply is also far greater than Bitcoin. It takes more volume to move it, etc., right? There's a lot more tokens in circulation. So XRP is primarily used for liquidity and cross-border payments, reducing the need for pre-funding and minimizing counterparty risk. And it also uses the Ripple's on-demand liquidity ODL service. So RLUSD is intended for broader use cases beyond cross-border payments. It can be used for instant payouts, tools for remittances, on and off ramps between fiat and crypto, and its stability makes it suitable for more traditional finance applications within a blockchain context, right? So they can send US dollars to US dollars. That's kind of where it's going to be useful, right? But basically, Ripple being the Amazon of crypto, they're involved in everything, right? They have their XRP native token. They have the XRP Ledger, the first DEX. Developers can build. They can tokenize any kind of assets. They do custody as well, and they hold crypto on behalf of institutions. You can do clawbacks. You can do NFTs. Smart contracts are coming to the XRP Ledger with hooks and whatnot. You have your stablecoin, your RLUSD, your RWAs, your real-world assets, and tokenization. So again, it's just a one-stop shop, right? It's the entire ecosystem that they're supporting, and a lot of this is pretty confusing. But, at the end of the day, just imagine trying to understand the internet in the early days and try to speak the language of TCP IP. And, it'd be hard to understand where we were going to go, even, looking at the amount of innovation that we've had today. It's hard to fathom, trying to understand that in the early days. But essentially, again, this is just the internet of money, that next layer on top of the internet with programmable money. And something very important is the world, such as Russia, China, all these countries, they're ditching the US dollar through de-dollarization, right? And that's happening right now. And we've seen, World War III, we saw Russia approves law allowing use of crypto for global payments as it faces ongoing sanctions. So they were removed from the SWIFT network, with all the geopolitical tensions going on. And there's a lot of narrative out there that, we're in World War III at the moment, or we could see World War III. And I was told a long time ago that crypto, and I would argue even XRP, was created to prevent World War III. This whole thing here, right? You can't have one country controlling everything, right? So the fact that, you know, this is all happening around the same time, it just makes you wonder if we're in a simulation or if it's all if it's all planned, right? But they wouldn't, like Russia and these other countries, they wouldn't use RLUSD for cross-border payments because they would have to back those by US dollar reserves such as T-bills, etc., right? So treasuries. So why would Russia want to boost the value of the US dollar essentially? This is why XRP is going to come in handy, because they don't have to hold T-bills or US dollars in reserves to use XRP, right, in cross-border payments. And like I said, it's not a coincidence that we're seeing all of this come up at the same time, right, with the narrative of, you know, World War III, etc. So the broader case, like, and for example, let's say you want to, you know, send money, and you're going to do it from dollar to dollar. You might want to do that through, you know, different stable coins. But if you're going to send it from, you know, one currency to another currency, and you're going to do a cross border, you'll want to transfer, you know, US dollars into XRP and then into euros, right? So that is the value proposition there. And then also, just think about it. If you want to, let's say you bought XRP at 20 cents or 40 cents and it goes to $10 or $20. Well, you're going to want to sell that into something, right? So again, why not sell it into a stable value like the RLUSD, or realistically any of these, you know, any of these stable coins, right? And then eventually you can just rebuy XRP back when it goes back out, right? So let's say you're just looking for a safe haven, right? It goes to, you bought XRP at say 40 cents and it goes to $40. Well, you don't want to keep holding it because then it could go back down to 20. So you want to go into a stable coin, a stable value pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar. And then when XRP drops back down to $20, you want to switch that XRP back into, or sorry, that RLUSD back into XRP, because you think XRP is going to go back up from there, right? After a 50% correction, that sort of thing, right? So it remains constant when you're holding RLUSD. And the same thing can be said about Bitcoin and USD Tether, right? So again, think of ExxonMobil. They mostly deal with oil, which could be viewed as XRP, but ExxonMobil also deals with natural gas. So that could be, you know, your Bitcoin or your Ethereum or your RLUSD analogy, right? And Ripple could use Bitcoin for cross-border payments, but they believe XRP is the best fit. And one thing that, you know, kind of threw me off whenever all of this came out was, how come everybody just started talking about, you know, RLUSD and how that was going to kill XRP for cross-border payments when there's always been stablecoins? Like, this isn't new. So why weren't people saying, oh, USDT is going to do that, or USDC is going to replace that? Again, it's all backed by 1-to-1, right, to the US dollar. So essentially you're boosting. So these countries around the world are not going to want to boost the value of the US dollar, right? And actually it's the opposite. It's called de-dollarization. And is the US dollar losing its dominance? And the answer is yes, right? And in my opinion, this is going to prevent, you know, World War III. So you know, it's not a coincidence. I heard this but 6 years ago that this was meant to prevent that. And like I said, it's just way too coincidental. And also, RLUSD is launching on the XRPL, but also the Ethereum, the EVM, the sidechain, the Ethereum Virtual Machine sidechain, right? So it's not just central to XRP or Ripple. It's going to be using the Ethereum Virtual Machine as well. So you'll be able to buy RLUSD on XRPL or the EVM sidechain. And this could actually even bring more liquidity to the XRP ecosystem from Ethereum, right? So hopefully this video is helpful. I know a lot of this technical jargon is very difficult to understand by times, and even myself sometimes, you know, I have to kind of fact check things and kind of think about things a little bit more than I normally would. But, you know, at the end of the day, you don't need to understand how exactly the technology works. We don't understand how exactly an iPhone works or how a vehicle works. All that you know is it's safe to use, and, you know, it's trusted, and that's what these countries want. They want trust, right? And if you remove people out of it, right, if you remove governments out of it, and you're just relying on alphanumeric code that's open source that anybody can see what's going on, well, that removes that trust barrier, right? And you don't have to trust other countries when dealing with cross-border payments. And like I said, slow, clunky. This is the next, you know, the next version of the internet. So hopefully this video is helpful. If it was, smash like. I'd appreciate it. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again in the next video.